Hello and welcome back to the Chatco podcast, where we discuss media in the forms of reviews and topic-based discussions. I'm your host, Drinking Tom Shoes, and of course, it's that time of year again. So I'm joined by Mr. Zenny F underscore because it's the Game of the Year voting time.
Hell yeah, I'm back, baby.
Annual thing we seem to be doing there since we started this podcast. Obviously, we've pretty much done it ever since 2021, since we started this. So this is our, fourth year doing it?
Fourth,
Yeah, because
fifth,
obviously we voted.
fourth.
We voted the year It Takes Two won. We voted the year Elden Ring won. We voted last year when Baldur's Gate 3 won, and obviously we're going to do the vote this year. Obviously, before we get into the actual voting part of it, obviously we've got our own opinions on this year in terms of gaming. It hasn't been the best year. Yeah, there's been a few decent games. Don't get me wrong. There has been good games. I'm not gonna fucking slam the entire fucking games that's been released this year. There's actually been some decent releases, but I think in comparison to the last 2 years, it kind of sucked a little bit.
In a week year.
Because I mean, if you look at the last 2 years, 2022, obviously with the Game Awards, it saw the battle between Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok, two of the biggest games of the fucking year. And I think that there's a couple of other games as well that came out that year, quite decent size, and it was like, okay, that's a pretty decent year for gaming. Last year, I mean, you Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, obviously Zelda, the second one through Breath of the Wild. Some big fucking games there. So again, a big fucking year. And then this year, it's obviously the main talking point probably is the controversy of them putting DLC up for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Because I know you're pretty good at voting for it in some of the categories because you played the DLC for Elden Ring, but you agreed with me the fact that it shouldn't be anywhere near a lot of these awards.
It's fact there's games like Warhammer wasn't even on the list, but a DLC got on there, and it was an amazing DLC, but it's still a DLC. The game already won Game of the Year before. It doesn't need to be in there again.
Exactly. I feel like the thing is they come out with a statement, didn't they? Because people were asking the question before and can DLC be voted for? And they come out with this statement being like, oh yeah, DLC's always been able to vote as long as obviously it fits in all these categories. It's fine. It's able to vote. I'm just like, since when has DLC been voted for? The closest we've ever got to DLC was probably Idris Elba last year for his performance in the Cyberpunk DLC. That's the closest
Yeah.
I think we've got for DLC being voted. I've never seen DLC up for a vote. I mean, don't get me wrong, as you pointed out, it's a massive expansion. It's a great expansion for Elden Ring, but it's not the first game expansion that's come out that probably could have been up for an award. I mean, The Witcher that had massive expansions. And there's many a game out there that had really good DLC that you go, okay, why isn't that been recognised as in this category? I feel like they've literally just said the rules always been there, but I feel like personally they've changed the rules this year just to get Elden Ring in there. In my personal
It's
opinion.
I had the thing where I was like, oh, DLC should be part of it, but then also on the flip side of it, should DLC if a DLC is good enough, should it be part of it? And then also, will this make companies actually make a bigger DLC rather than smaller ones?
See, I know it won an award recently, the Elden Ring DLC. The Golden Joystick Awards were recently, I think it was, and it won the category Best Expansion. Why
That
is that
makes
not?
sense.
Why is that not a category then? See, it doesn't have to be a category every year because you know for a fact not every year you're going to have these amazing expansions. I feel like it could be a category that comes up when it needs be. So say, I don't know, this year, I know we got the Elden Ring one, pretend that didn't happen though, there's no other expansions. No award for that one then. But next year, say fucking they're dropping all these expansions for games, pretend there's a massive God of War expansion, the Elden Ring expansion, something else, then fair enough, put the award up. It could be literally a award that only is used when there's an actual enough to
Yeah.
cover that. But when there's not enough, then you don't bother. But obviously, it's just weird because it's up for best game, it's up for best RPG, and I think it's up in I think it's up for best art direction. I think, and I swear it's up for another category or two. And it's just like, for starters, it's DLC. It's not a game. It's DLC. You have to play another game to actually play this DLC. Best role playing game. Again, it's 50-50 on that because it's still technically an expansion, not an actual game. Whereas what they're aiming at is this the best role playing game out there? When it's an expansion, it's not the actual game.
But it didn't come out this year. That's the problem. Oh, sorry, the game didn't come out this year. The DLC did. See, how can you class the entire? If it was a standalone game, like the was it Assassin's Creed that did the Ragnarok? That was
Ragnarok,
like kind
yeah.
of like a standalone game, but it was technically. Did that kind of make sense because it was standalone? It was kind of DLC, but it wasn't. If they did this with Elden Ring, then maybe I would like put it in. But it's not. It's just an add-on to the original game.
And so, 'cause
You can't have rules now because of what's out. Oh, it just
if you
I
think
don't
about
know.
it, realistically, I
Seems
feel
a bit
like best expansion would work this year because there's been obviously the Alan Wake DLC this year. The Alan Wake 2 obviously dropped
probably
their
if,
Lake House
um,
DLC, didn't they?
yeah. Well, I think I got 2 DLCs out this year. I'm pretty sure.
I swear they did, yeah. So you could just be like, obviously the Alan Ring Shadow, obviously whatever it's fucking called, and then you could have Alan Wake 2 DLC. So it classes as both. So it's like you look at both and go, okay, is this better than this one massive DLC? That's the topic.
Yeah.
See, it's one of those things where sometimes I think some categories I'm okay with it. Performance, with obviously I say when Idris Elba won, oh no, not one when he's nominated. Sorry, I'm okay with that because that it's performance in a game. I'm kind of okay with that because it's not it's not a major category, but it is enough. But I feel like that it's
Yeah.
fine. I feel like art direction, if there's enough difference, like if it's completely different to what the base game was, I feel like you're okay with nominating that. But I feel like if it's literally the exact same look and everything, you can just go, why the fuck? It just won this one award this year. Why is it being allowed to be nominated for the exact same award this year? Same goes for like score and soundtrack. I feel like if it's got a completely different score and soundtrack, I'm okay with it in that
Oh
sort of
yeah, that
category.
makes sense.
But if it's the same situation, then I don't see the point in nominating it twice. So no, for example, with the Oscars, Doom Part 2 can't technically be nominated for Best Score because it uses so much of Doom Part 1's soundtrack. Despite the fact that apparently I read they're trying to still push it, saying, oh, there's still loads of other stuff in there, but apparently the rule is like it can't have like 30% of like another movie's soundtrack within it.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
So I feel like I feel like they've made a loophole in the rules and obviously bullshitted around it just so they can try and get Elden Ring to win a few awards again. Which I feel like if it wins Game of the Year, it's bullshit because that's the game. I feel like that's just them trying to get someone to talk about the Game Awards. Be like, oh, controversially, DLC won Game of the Year at the 10th anniversary. You know what I mean? That's kind of, in my opinion, that's them just trying to get fucking people to talk about the awards on its anniversary. It's just,
You see, it's such a weird thing because like there's so many games that did come out this year. Like, oh, I keep going back to Warhammer, but that should have been on there, and it wasn't on there.
there's so
And I
many.
thought DLC
Thing is,
was
there's not
like,
just Warhammer that you say. I know you got shit on, but you got Dragon Age, Dragon's Dogma. There's loads of actual games out and about. That not just it. Are actually nominated other categories. Like they're nominating like best action, best RPG, best action adventure. And you're just like, okay, then why aren't they nominated in the actual category? Why is it a DLC taking the spot of an actual game? And it's gonna be one of those situations where it's more than likely gonna win it, but because it's obviously it's the highest rated game, obviously highest rated, sort of game of the year, and I feel like that's probably gonna help it win it. But I feel like it shouldn't because of it's a DLC.
see, it's hard, man, because it basically is a full game. The DLC is bigger than most games I've played this year. It is bigger
But
than, like,
problem
for
is,
example, way bigger than Warhammer. It's bigger than most of these games, but it's not.
you
It is
still
a
have to
DLC.
play the base game to get to that point, and don't you have to get for like one of the hardest boss fights to actually activate
Yeah,
it?
but everyone says, "Oh, it's the hardest boss fight." But it's not.
But you still have to get through a massive boss fight to
want
even get to it.
the DLC to be in the actual DLC.
See, I feel like if you've got to go for another game to get to it, I don't think it should be allowed. I think if it's because that's the exact same with that Assassin's Creed Ragnarok one they did. You technically speaking have to go through so much of the game before you even activate it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, I think yeah. Do you? I swear you did. I swear you have to go
I
to.
swear.
Oh, it's been that long since I never even finished it. I'll finish it at some point. But I swear you had to go to your actual camp to activate it. I could be wrong.
See, it's strange because technically, if Elden Ring had released a DLC standalone and was like, oh, it still follows the same story, but started in the DLC area, beating the boss and the last thing makes sense while you're there, but it's not needed because you kind of have to restart anyway. You start really weak again.
So
You do and you do.
I feel like if they, as you say, if they did it separately, so if in your menu you boot it up, DLC's there, you click it and it's straight into it. I'm a bit more okay with that. Yes, you still got to buy a base game. Actually, that's a good point because you still technically got to buy the base game. So you still got to spend all this money on the base game and then spend all this money extra on DLC. It's one of those things where it's controversial, and I can see probably why they've allowed it just to get people talking. But it's just personally, it shouldn't be anywhere near it.
Yeah, but I think personally this year sort of been dominated just to make some controversy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. Because as I said, there's that many games that probably could have been up for this. And it's just the case of, I feel like I've done it because it's the 10th anniversary of the Game Awards. So they want people to talk about it. And the easiest way to do that, make a bit of controversy. You know what I mean?
To be fair, if it wasn't a DLC, it would be my game of the year.
Yeah.
But it is a DLC. So I can't call it my game of the year.
Yeah.
It's my favourite DLC of all time.
It's not your game of the year, yes. Exactly. It's just one of those things that's just stupid. And as I say, we wanted to get that off our chest before we actually started because there's so much to talk about with that. And I felt like we could do like an entire podcast just complaining about that. But we're not. We're here to actually vote for 2024 Game of the Year. So we're going to get the Game Awards screen on the screen and we're going to start voting on this.
I wonder if I can see the screen on my phone.
Don't worry, I'll read it to you as I always do anyway, so it's fine. Okay, so I got so December 12th is when the actual awards takes place. So we're gonna hit vote now and start voting.
What the now?
View all categories because we never start with Game of the Year. We always leave that till last. It makes sense. So we're gonna start with. We always did the esports shit first, don't we? It's the best esports team.
I can't see the pictures of the dudes there.
So you got obviously 3 from League of Legends here, 1 from Counter-Strike, and 1 from Dota 2. So we got is that as Billy Gaming?
Oh, BLII.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's Billy.
And then you got Gen.G. So
Never heard of them.
both those are League of Legends. And then you got Na'Vi for Counter-Strike. T1 for League of Legends. And Team Liquid for Dota 2.
I've just got Na'Vi, it's the only one I know.
I know nothing about any of esports crap.
I know Liquid and Na'Vi, that's it, so. Choose one.
Well, you went because we'd never usually choose the same unless it's the case of we both feel so desperate about that one. So I feel like with esports and all that, we always tend to go different ones on these ones.
Well, I've got none. So.
Well, I'm looking at this, and the T1 and Team Liquid are both holding trophies currently.
Let me see if I got my iPad charged so I can have it on there. There we go. It is. Let me open this up.
Yeah, they're both currently holding trophies, so I'm just looking at this like so you see at the first two, and they're kind of just like hands in pockets, walking towards the camera. Then you got obviously the Na'Vi one, they're also in little positions, and then you got the actual end two with trophies. I'm just like, I'm kind of leaning towards one of the ones that got trophies currently.
Makes sense.
So do I go League of Legends or Dota 2? Tell you what, I'm going League of Legends just because I've been watching Arcane recently. So I'm going I'm going T1. I still need to finish. Yeah, I've got two episodes left. So I've gone T1 on this. Are you sticking with Na'Vi or you having a look?
No.
You're going to stick with Na'Vi?
I'll stick with Na'Vi until I can get this open.
Okay, so if we go to the next category. So the next category is Best Esports Athlete. Now, is this the one where you just vote for the best dressed looking person?
I'm pretty sure, unless I do know someone.
Oh, well, there's a Na'vi one on there, so I'm guessing you'll probably go for that person. So we got 33, Nita Shapira, Alexib. So it's 10 year their gamer tags and it's 10 year the actual names. So that's Alexei Virolainen. I'm really bad at pronouncing names. So you got Chovy. Oh fuck, Jeong Ji Hoon. I told you I'm bad at naming people. We got Faker, Lee Sang Hyuk, Zwu, Matthew.
I know Faker.
You got Matthew Herboot, whoever you fucking pronounce that. ZMJJKK, Xiong Yong Kang. So most outstanding performance and conduct in 2024. Again, I'm leaning towards someone who's got like an award in their hand currently.
Yeah, that's Faker. I would go on Faker as well. He's like one of the best League of Legends players I know that. So.
Okay, you're gonna Faker them.
Yeah, I think we both should go that dude. I mean, there's two awards in the hand.
I'm gonna go for the other dude with the award, the Zwu one.
What's he won though? ESL, what's that?
I don't have a fucking clue.
I mean, he's sponsored by DHL, and then maybe like a sports game. Who knows?
I don't know. I vote for that dude. He looks super happy.
Everyone's up number one.
the other one, the first and end one look like they're moderately happy. The second, third, and fourth one look, like they're content with what they're doing. And then he looks the most happiest. Okay, so then we got best esports game. So we got Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, and Valorant.
Mobile Legends, Bang Bang.
What?
Mobile Legends. What's Mobile Legends, Bang Bang?
I have no fucking clue. So it's Valve, Riot Games, Moonton, and Riot Games.
Right, let's be real. We vote for the same category every single year, and it always wins every single year.
Is that League of Legends?
Yeah, I don't think he's ever lost.
I'm pretty certain I usually end up voting for Counter-Strike 2, but I'm agreeing with League of Legends, again, just because I'm watching Arcane at the moment.
Counter-Strike 2 is ass.
So I'm going to go League of Legends.
I think out of the two, either League of Legends or Valorant.
So what are you going for?
Well, you want to go for opposite, so I'll take Valorant.
Okay. So then we got Content Creator of the Year.
Just.
So we've got...
Jason.
Yeah, that guy. Ilio Juan, is that how you say that?
I'm guessing so.
Techo Gamers. Typical Gamer. You said Pecora.
Well, I'm voting Kaiser, so.
The guy with the scruffy beard.
Yeah, he's funny, to be
fair. I know which one James would go for out of all these pictures.
Oh, obviously typical gamer.
Oh, obviously. I don't know who any of these people are. Can you give me an example of who these people are, Connor?
Right, I know Queso. I don't know any of the other ones. I think the middle one, Ilios Duranova, I don't think he might be a Spanish streamer, but I'm not sure. I could just be being judgmental by his name. But I'm pretty sure he's like Mexican or Spanish streamer. I got Queso. Is anyone that? I don't really know. I mean, the other dude's sponsored by Red Bull, so it's gonna be something pretty big. We should wearing a Red Bull shirt. And then that typical one looks like the guy from Linkin Park.
When I looked at all these pictures, that's the guy I was being drawn to. He just looks like the most generic motherfucker possible.
He does look like the guy from Linkin Park, though, right?
So I'm gonna vote for him then. If you're going for the first one, I'll go for typical gamer.
Okay, sounds good.
That, and he's got, out of all of them, he's got glasses on, and
You know what I'm voting for in the next category, boy.
Most anticipated game. So this one's an interesting one because we've got Death Stranding 2 on the beach, which I'm very much looking forward to. We've got Ghost of Yotai, which I'm very much looking forward to. We've got Grand Theft Auto 6, which I'm also looking forward to. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I've never played Metroid, so I'm not really looking forward to that one. And then Monster Hunter Wilds, which I'm also looking forward to. I know you're going Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah.
Looking at this personally, I think Grand Theft Auto is going to win it because
Oh yeah.
it's been anticipated for so fucking long. I feel like Grand Theft Auto has got this one in the bag. I'm pretty certain it won it at the Golden Joystick Awards, was the most anticipated game. But
Well, if Monster Hunter wasn't on the list, it would have been Grand Theft
yeah,
Auto.
so we're looking at it rather than what we're expecting to win, because as I said, we're expecting Grand Theft Auto to win, but we're looking at it from our own perspectives. You want Monster Hunter Wilds the most. I'm looking at this, and to me, I'm drawn between Death Stranding 2 on the beach and Ghost of Yotai, and I think I'm going to go with Ghost of Yotai on this one.
Yeah, I thought you would.
Because I was a big fan of Ghost of Tsushima. I fucking voted the hell out of that at the fucking 2020 awards. The one we didn't cover because obviously that's before we started the podcast. But it was very close with Death Stranding 2 because I really enjoyed the first game, and I'm very much looking forward to the second one. It looks pretty cool. It looks crazy as fuck as normal for a Kojima game, but it's Ghost of Yotai all the way. I just love the setting of the first game, and I'm looking forward to that Secret Levels TV show where there's the little section. Because obviously there's in the PlayStation section, obviously there's a little part of Ghost of Tsushima. I'm just like, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, hell yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to go with that. So you're going Monster Hunter on that one. But as we say, we're both agreeing that Grand Theft Auto is going to win that category.
Yeah, I mean, what's bigger than Grand Theft Auto?
Exactly. Okay. Well, if Jeff has his way, we'd try to get Death Stranding to win it. You know how much he snogs Kojima.
On there again.
Okay, so we're up for best adaptation there. So we've got Arcane, which is technically season 2. Fallout, season 1. Knuckles, season 1. Like a Dragon, Yakuza, season 1. Tomb Raider, The Legends of Lara Croft, season 1. First off, I don't know why Like a Dragon's on there because it was badly rated by everyone. I don't think anyone really enjoyed it. Reviews on it are like dog shit. Arcane reviews are fucking outstanding. Fallout reviews are outstanding. Knuckles reviews were actually pretty decent. Tomb Raider, I think the reviews were okay. For me personally, obviously I've not watched Tomb Raider yet. I still need to watch that. Not watched Like a Dragon, Yakuza. I watched Arcane, Fallout, and Knuckles. Knuckles was decent, but the problem with Knuckles is the fact that he's barely in it. It's more focused on the copper from the film, so I'm going to take that out of here. So it's between Arcane and Fallout. Arcane, beautifully animated. It's so fucking outstanding to look at. The fight scenes are incredible. The first season was great, and I say I'm almost finished the second season. This season's been great as well. It's a shame not doing any more after this, but the price of it cost to make it, I can understand why. But I'm going Fallout.
Ooh, I thought you would have gone Arcane. I'll go Arcane then.
Mike, we can agree on stuff. It's up to you.
Whoa. I want to be opposite. We can't be on the same, but I still think Arcane will win this category anyway.
I don't know, because Fallout was like massively loved.
Yeah, but League of Legends, people cream over it, so.
Yeah, but remember it's critics. And critics are quite hot. Personally, at the moment, from what I've seen, I'm more in the Fallout category because I absolutely love that fucking show and I could not put it down. But I feel like it's a 2-horse race, personally, between that and Arcane. I don't think Like a Dragon Yakuza is going to get anywhere near it. Tomb Raider and Knuckles, neither. In my opinion, it's a 2-horse race, Arcane and Fallout. So it's going to be interesting to see what gets it, though, because I say both are massively rated. I know, let's have a look at the Rotten Tomato scores for both shows. I know Arcane, and last time I saw was like, I feel like it was 98% or something like that. Arcane. He's not there. Where the fuck is Arcane on here? Gonna have to search it at the search bar. So Arcane season 2 sits. Oh, what the fuck? Usually tells you. Season 2 sits at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes from 31 reviews. There's not a single bad review on it. Fallout 94. Still pretty high. That's from. I'll tell you reviews. Season 1 got. Again, so top. So all critics, there's 128 reviews on there. 120 are positive, 8 are negative. But yeah, I'm torn because I really enjoyed Arcane, but Fallout was just like, again, another case of someone actually took time to make a live action adaptation actually good. And that it was, the special effects are really good in it. And I feel like why I'm leaning towards that more than Arcane is just because the production team behind it is obviously the same people who made Westworld, and I fucking loved the first 2 seasons of Westworld. And I still enjoyed the 3rd and 4th season. Not as much, but I still enjoyed them. So I'm always going to probably lean more towards that. That, and I feel like the Wasteland stuff is really good. I feel like the gore, the makeup on him was just like outstanding. Like the acting was really good on it. But
I need to actually don't know watch it, man.
but I'm still saying it's gonna be a 2-horse race. It might be it's a toss up between those two. So one of us is gonna get it easily. So we'll see who actually gets it. I'm hoping Fallout for the fact that they actually did stuff last year at the Game Awards.
Yeah,
because they actually revealed all the trailer, didn't they? Shit like that. So I'm hoping that. Plus, I'm hoping the fact that unlike Arcane, they've had enough time to sit on Fallout. Whereas Arcane, obviously, it's only just finished. It finished yesterday. So it's just a case of hopefully that might play into the factor. Who knows? Anyway, so best multiplayer. So we've got Black Ops 6, Helldriver 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. And I feel like you'll go Warhammer.
nah.
Oh.
Helldivers 2. But as much as the fuck the game, the multiplayer was the funnest shit I've ever played, man. Having like a full team and killing everything and getting to the pod and everything was just so good, man.
So
Warhammer only really played the solo single player stuff, so I can't really be like, oh yeah, it's great multiplayer.
Yeah.
I didn't really focus on it. But Helldivers 2, I basically played the whole thing multiplayer, and I've also played a shit ton of Black Ops, but it's not the best multiplayer. It's just called it, yeah, it's the same every year. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't usually play online multiplayer, so I'm always out of this category instantly. Out of all these games, though, the only one I've actually played anything is Black Ops 6 for like an hour, if that. So I'm gonna have to go with Black Ops 6 just because I said because obviously we're on about going separate ways on most categories. I probably would agree with Helldivers 2 because that's the one I heard like a lot about early on. But I'm just gonna go with Black Ops 6 because it's the only fucking game I've actually played on this list.
I'll tell you what, it breaks my heart, man, because I 100% think Helldivers 2 could have been Game of the Year this year if this studio hadn't just fucked up halfway through its life cycle and they just ruined it.
And so I know like it botched like quite a lot of shit, didn't it, late on.
The basically fucking obviously them fucked about with all the login stuff for Sony and whatever. And
oh yes, the PlayStation logins.
Lots of people couldn't play it in different countries. They brought the games. That was like a big blood thing. Everyone boycotting it. And then they just kept nerfing stuff in the game. And it's like, it's a PvE game. Like, why is it matter? Things are unbalanced. Like, he's a bit like, I understand nerfs and buff, but he's like, everything was heavily nerfed. And then when people complain, it's like, oh, we'll revert it. And it took them so long to do anything. But Helldivers 2 was so good when it first came out. 100% would have been Game of the Year for me if it had fucking not had all this shit around it. So, still vote for it in that category, though. It's the best multiplayer game still.
Okay, then so next up we've got Best Sports Racing. I know what I'm doing with this one instantly. So we've got F1 24, EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K25, Topspin 2K25, and my vote WWE 2K24 instantly. I mean, I've put so many hours into that fucking game, it's ridiculous.
I'll vote for F1. I feel like it's the only one I'd actually sit down and play, so.
The thing is, I was reading like obviously an article about this category, and apparently the two that are more likely have got an actual big chance, according to this article, was Topspin and WWE. Those are the two ones that more have a big chance of winning it. And they're on about why the fuck FC25 was in this category because it's so fucking shit. Because obviously the FC25 is the big, no FIFA game by EA. And I was reading like a thing on about a lot of people saying there's a game, I think it's also EA. I think it's called College Football, obviously American football. And apparently that is like really good. and a lot of people are surprised that that's not in this category. But I feel like this is the first time I've ever seen a WWE game up for this award.
Yeah, normally it's left out for some random stuff like Forza last year, wasn't it? Right?
Yeah, it's usually like racing games and obviously football, basketball, American football, tennis. The normal sports. I've generally never seen a WWE game in here, which is surprising. I was generally surprised that 2K22 wasn't up for it when that first came out because that was the big return. That was the big one. But I'll be loving it if 2K24 wins because, as I say, the story in that game is really good. They've had a lot of new features, and it is pretty damn good game. It's fun. So, yeah, so you're going to F1 then?
Yeah.
I feel like whenever I do this, I usually end up going for F1. I feel like you end up going for like something else, like usually like Forza or something, and I'm pretty certain I'm the one who usually ends up going for fucking F1. But obviously this year, as soon as I saw the nominees, I was like, I know what I'm going for this category straight away. Fucking WWE. Fucking, as I say, how many hours I put? I've got up at like 120 plus hours into that game easily. Obviously, that's a mixture of me playing it and me getting content out of it for YouTube. So yeah. So best sim strategy is up next. So we got Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2,
any of these games.
Kunitsu Gami, Path of the Goddess, Mana Lords, and Unicorn Overlord. Never played any of them.
I've played 2 of them.
I think out of all of, I've heard of. I know what Age of Mythology is. I've heard of that. There's been many of them, hasn't there?
I don't know. I know it's like a remake of the original one, but I don't know if there's been more, Paul.
Oh well, then I've just heard the name. Then I know the name of Age of Mythology, and I swear I've heard the name Frostpunk.
Yeah, Frostpunk's basically like a sim where you gotta keep like a village alive, and it's all like obviously critical conditions. I played the first one, I played the second one.
Never heard any of this.
And I played Mana Lords. So I'll go for the Kunitsu one. That's my vote.
Oh, let's go for Frostpunk 2 then. That, say that and the first one, that and Age of Mythology, the only 2 I know. To an extent.
That's an easy category.
So then we got Best Family Game. So we've got Astrobot, Princess Peach Showtime, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Legends of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and the Plunky Squire. I'm going to go Astrobot on this one.
Did Mario Wonder not come out this year?
Mario Wonder? No, it was last year. Because that was also under the category. That was the other. That's the game I was trying to think of. I was trying to remember like other games that were for Baldur's Gate, Spider-Man, Alan Wake 2, Zelda. And I was like, what else came out? Super Mario.
Oh well, none of these games. Ones that I'd like. Oh wow,
amazing. Right, was that the year before?
When did it come out? I thought it was like December, but maybe November.
My brain's... Was it 2023 that came out?
I remember.
I think it was. I swear it was up for the Game of the Year last year.
So you're going Astrobot?
Yeah, I got Astrobot. I feel like that's going to win it.
Well, Astrobot was the only other game I'd pick other than Super Mario Party, so I'll just go Super Mario Party.
So I feel like Astrobot's the one. I mean, it was like... Well, it's the biggest PlayStation release of the year. But, when you think of like years and you go, this is the biggest PlayStation release this year, last year, Spider-Man 2. The year before, you had God of War Ragnarok. Year before that, Ratchet and Clank. Year before that would have been... I'm going to say Last of Us Part 2, but I'd prefer to say Ghost of Tsushima. So it's crazy to think that this year's big PlayStation release was Astrobot. The game that...
I was reading that apparently the new... Is it Lego Horizon? That's got less players than Concord has. Jesus.
On PC, the PC stats look really bad on it. But then again, it's the case of with Lego games, you think about it, kids are drawn by the IPs. It's an IP that's more for adults, and if the fan base of Horizon aren't that interested in Lego games, you've already lost your fan. You know what I mean? It'd be like,
mate, PlayStation making some bad financial decisions right now.
But obviously, Astrobot was their biggest one. Was a positive one this year. Imagine going, you know what? That game we released with the PlayStation 5, that little tiny game that just showcased, how to actually play the rumbling sensation of the controllers. Imagine if we made that into a big fucking game.
And it was the best one.
So yeah, I'm gonna go Astrobot easily on this one. So then we got best fighting up next. So we got Dragon Ball Sparkling, sorry, not Sparkling, Zero. Fucking adding zero to the end of it makes it sound like a fucking a soft drink. Here, drink Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. No sugar. Then you got Grand Blue Fantasy vs Rising, Marvel vs Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, Multiversus, and Tekken 8. Not played any of them.
You played Multiverses, right?
No.
Oh, well, I played Tekken 8, and I technically played Marvel vs. Capcom, but not the remake, technically, the original, which is technically what that is. God damn. I feel like I have to go for one I've played this year, but if I was going to go for one that I haven't played, it would have been Dragon Ball.
Why is that supposed to be really good?
He's got like really good reviews, like from player base. Like it actually apparently was really good. Not like competitive fighting, but like just single player fighting was really good.
Thanks for that. I'm going to vote for that then. Thanks for that. I was like, as soon as I was like, I got a positive thumbs up from you. I was like, yeah, I'm going for that one. It was either that or Marvel vs. Capcom, just because I know Marvel. But I was just like, it's either that or Dragon Ball, because that one's like, the poster looks pretty cool and it's jumping at him. I don't think Multiverse is going to win it. That's just, again, that's another game that's been botched by the fucking people behind it. I mean, shutting it down and then relaunching it is just the most stupidest thing ever. So you're going Tekken 8 then?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we got Best RPG up next, which I know what you're going for this. We got Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring Shadow the Tree, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor Refantasio. I feel like Elden Tree is going to take this fucking category. It shouldn't, but I feel like it's going to.
Right, if Dragon's Dogma 2 had come out and the performance was fine, it would be great. The performance still is dog shit on that game.
On
I
PC.
probably would have. Yeah, well, yeah, but he's still locked at 30 frames on consoles, which is like, come on, like at least make it 60 or somewhere. How can you be locked to 30, man? And then I think that would have been my choice in this one, but just obviously based on like obviously Elden Ring being the DLC, I wouldn't have chose it, but it's the only one I can choose out of this category.
Just like the only one I can technically choose is Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah, I've not played Final Fantasy. I've not played Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I've played the demo for Metaphor, and it's just everyone's hyping it up, but he's legit just fucking Persona, basically just Persona, so whatever. So
you're going DLC for this one.
I'm going Elden Ring. I have to.
Boo. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Dragon's Dogma just because I actually played like 2 hours of the game. I actually have some level of playtime in it. I mean, I've only just started it.
Rich player character customization progress, including massively multiplayer experiences. What multiplayer experiences does Final Fantasy have?
I have no idea. I know Dragon's Dogma has the idea that you can like hire other people's like minions, can't you?
Yeah, Elden Ring technically has multiplayer like PvP or co-op. Final Fantasy doesn't have any single player game. Infinite Wealth is also single player, and so is Metaphor. So why is it say including massively multiplayer experiences?
Here's the question: was that on there last year? That tagline? If it wasn't, do you reckon I put that in just for Elden Ring?
I don't know. I don't think it was there last year, but it's the way it's like and progress, including massively multiplayer experiences.
Do you reckon they've worded that in there just because of that game?
See, it'd be fine if they include on here instead of best RPG, it's best MMORPG. Then that makes sense.
Or that'd be a separate category itself, best MMO.
I mean that maybe they should have that. Because surely then World of Warcraft should have been down for this because it added DLC this year.
Again, they're doing it very clearly just to suck off this little game here.
It is a great game though.
So okay, you're going Elden Ring, I'm going Dragon's Dogma. Right, best action adventure. So here we go. We've got Astrobot, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, Legends of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Again, not played any of these. I actually know about these games, unlike most of the other categories. I know actually what these games fucking are. Oh, well, start off. We're outing and getting rid of Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah,
I know
fuck that shit.
I know they've been improving the game, but based off its current state, it's pretty shouldn't even be in this category. I feel like this is the case of they've run out of stuff to put in this category, so they just dumped that in this. I haven't really seen too much of Legend of Zelda: The Echoes of Wisdom game,
Yeah, I've seen bits and bobs, but not much.
so I'm gonna out that one as well. So it's gonna be between Astro Bot, Prince of Persia, and Silent Hill 2.
Well, I'll go Silent Hill 2 because I played the original, so it's basically the same game.
I'll go Astro Bot then. I was gonna either go Astro Bot or Silent Hill 2. If you're going Silent Hill 2, I'm gonna go Astro Bot. But looking at them, those are the three that I've left it between. In the end, were probably the ones that I'd choose to play. Obviously, I do want to play Outlaws at some point, but I'm not paying fucking how much for it right now when it's not in the best of states.
Wait till next year in the bargain bins for like a $5.
Yeah. So I feel like Astrobot's the one I do kind of want to play the most because obviously it just looks a bit of fun. Looks a bit stupid, but again, I don't really pay full price for. It's not even a big game, is it really?
No.
So I don't really want to pay full price for it. But out of all of them, that's the one I'd go for. And I probably would say Silent Hill 2 second, despite the fact that I'd shit myself while playing it. I'd probably use that mod. Have you seen that mod that someone made when they got rid of all the fog?
What is it clear?
It's just clear. Someone's modded it out the fog, so you just. I think they like jokingly called it like something else, like Loud Hills or something like that. And I was like, that's quite funny. That is. So yeah, we're going Astrobot there. Okay, best action game. So we've got Black Myth, Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer. I'm guessing you're going Warhammer on this one.
No, I'm going Black Myth Wukong. That game was fucking slapped. That was so good, man.
I was expecting you to go Warhammer.
Warhammer's really. You see, this is the thing, man. Warhammer is really fucking good, but the combat I prefer would be Black Myth Wukong.
Son of a bitch, you took my one. Fuck it then, I'm taking your one. I'm taking Warhammer.
Warhammer, I think Warhammer would be low as well. I think the big three would be Black Myth Wukong, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer. Helldivers and Call of Duty, whatever is shooting.
Yeah.
Obviously, Stellar Blade, the kind of like fast combat, same as Black Myth Wukong.
Is it? If I spoke up first, I would have gone Black Myth Wukong before you. Because
Well, I played Black Myth Wukong and I played Warhammer, so you can't steal. I could have took either one.
yeah, but obviously my number one choice here was going to be Black Myth Wukong. Because obviously it was the one I was looking at. I was like, out of all these ones, that's probably the one I'd like to play.
Yeah, I feel like you would like it. It's like a mix between the Dark Souls and also like God of War. It's like an in between. So it's got the challenge trip, but it's also like quite forgiving if you just level up and stuff.
I love how this year, just because how bad gaming is, we would literally just try this. You go for one, I go for the other. Whereas normally we actually go for like ones that we want heavily to win. And
this is technically the hardest category I think I've seen so far. For me, anyway, personally.
Because you played all.
Because Black Myth Wukong was really fucking good, but Warhammer was really good in its own right as well. But I think Warhammer's story, not even the story, just the feel of the game was, personally, in my opinion, better than Black Myth Wukong. But Wukong has had a better combat overall.
Well, it is best game and action genre focused primarily on combat.
Yeah, I've got to give it Black Myth one.
Okay, best VR AR. So I know straight away I'm going Batman. So we got Arizona Sunshine remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellslinger VR, Metro Awakening. I've not played any of them. I know a bit better Batman one, so I'm just taking Batman before you fucking take Batman.
Well, I've technically played Metal Hellsing, just not in VR. So it can't be. It's basically the same game. I didn't even know they did a Metro VR game. That'd be pretty sick. I just got Metro VR because I do like fucking
Metro Awakening.
Games.
I didn't even know they made one.
Metro games.
I say, looking at all these, the only one I actually knew about VR was Batman. That's because they announced it at fucking early in the year.
The only thing I know about the Batman one is like there's a video of this guy standing there, she's like, can you move out the way? And he's going, no. He's just standing with Batman and says, no. Like he's
Okay,
like, in the face.
okay. So we got best mobile game. I'm going Pokemon
And
before you say anything. So we got AFK Journey, Balatro, which apparently is supposed to be really good.
I fucking love the Lark show so much.
Isn't that the one that's like made by like one guy? Like he spent
Yeah,
ages making it on his laptop.
I've put like, I think I put about 50 hours into that game. It's so
So,
good.
Pokemon trading card game Pocket. I've seen Hayden play this a couple of times, and it looks quite cool having
Wow,
like Pokemon cards on your phone.
I've been fucking sinking so much time into that Pokemon game. It's unreal.
Woofing Waves and Zenless Zone Zero. So I'm going Pokemon on this one because it's the only ones I know is obviously I know Balatro because of the obviously a lot of people talking about it positively. And I was reading this article about the fact how it was obviously this one guy literally made it while bored on his like time off. I was like, good for him. Good for him indeed. I wish I could have that much energy to fucking in my time off work to sit back and fucking make a game.
Well,
Uh,
I'll go with the Lark show because I fucking love that game. But because the community of weebs will come out in this category and vote for it, user votes, I think it would have been that either Zen or Zone Zero, that Withering Waves, because I've heard like people go crazy about them. But the Lark show, I think, will.
thing is, it's based on critics, isn't it? It's not the user votes on these are fucking like the most.
Yeah,
Isn't like 5% if that.
yeah, I'll go Balatro. I think Pokemon might have the chance as well because it is really fucking good.
That
But
and
Balatro,
it's a big name IP.
yeah, I hope Balatro does pick it up though because it deserves it. Man.
Okay, so best debut indie game. So we've got Animal Well, Balatro, Mana Lords, Pacific Drive, and the Plunky Squire. I'm guessing you're going Balatro again.
It's the only one I played. The only other one that I know was really fucking good and everyone went crazy for was Animal Well. That was meant to be really good. So,
The fuck is Animal Well?
um, it's just an indie game. I can't explain it to you, but I know it did really well. People was like giving it really good reviews and stuff. So
The only like other than Balatro, the only other name that rings a bell is the Plunky Squire.
I have no idea what that is. It
That
looks like a Disney game I used to draw and then things in my life.
That's the only other name here that I actually know. Again, I feel like because of the fact that it's like just one guy, I feel like Balatro has got a good chance.
Pretty sure Animal Well was one dude as well.
Oh, is it?
So that's got to be up there as well.
And so looking at all these, the only one I've actually, other than Balatro, that I know I've heard of to an extent. I might not seen any gameplay, but I've actually heard the name would be the Squire one, so I'll just go with that one.
Right, okay. So I'll go Balatro and you've gone for.
I mean, the indie game ones usually just you go for this one, I go for that one anyway. I usually just go for what looks best, and I don't know.
I want Balatro again.
Okay, best independent game. Again, yeah, so you're going Balatro. Okay, so get Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and Laser Eye, Never, and UFO 50.
I've never heard of anything other than Animal Well and Balatro in a sense.
For outstanding creative and technical achievement in game made outside the traditional publisher system. I'm guessing you're sticking with Balatro again.
Oh yeah.
This time I will go for Animal Well. The evil dagger eyes of that kangaroo made me vote for it. Okay, best community sport. Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky. I go Baldur's Gate 3 just because it's the only game I've actually played on here, other than No Man's Sky, but I haven't played No Man's Sky for fucking years.
So you said the thing is best community support, recognising the game for outstanding community support, transparency, responsiveness, including social media activity and game updates and patches.
Baldur's Gate 3 had like a massive patch though, didn't it?
It did at the beginning, but then you got games like fucking
No, I mean,
No Man's
like
Sky.
within the last like so many months, it had like a massive fucking like update.
Yeah, but what's it done?
I can't remember what it did, but it did like a massive fucking a lot of stuff.
You can't be adding new content though, right? Like not like No Man's Sky.
It changed some content, yeah. It did actually update some stuff. I know it added like more to like I think it's what's the killer character?
Oh no, yeah, no, yeah, the dragon dude.
Yeah, like it added like some more stuff to do in that storyline. Like it actually was like like it was their last. Obviously, I think it's their big update. Obviously, not going to do any more to it. That was their big here's an update. This is everything.
Problem is, man, putting that against things like, I know you don't like it, but Fortnite has constant updates. Helldivers has like a shit ton of updates. No Man's Sky is basically a totally different game than what it was.
The thing is, I usually vote for No Man's Sky in this category every fucking year.
This is hard. I wouldn't give it Baldur's Gate personally. Oh my god, this is hard. Which one's Final Fantasy XIV? Is that the online or is that like the
I'm
new one?
guessing it'd be the online one. Wouldn't the new one be the one we've already mentioned once?
Oh no, yeah.
So I'm guessing this is the online one then.
If it's the online one, I'll probably go for that.
I'm pretty certain you always do vote for that anyway, and it usually ends up winning.
Yeah, I think that'd probably be. Other than that, probably would have been No Man's Sky.
So you're going Final Fantasy.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so we've got best ongoing. So for this one, we've got Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy. Again, I'm guessing that means that's the online one then. Fortnite and Helldivers 2.
Can't believe they got Destiny on this category. That game should be nowhere near this. Fucking dog shit. Alright.
What are you going with them?
Oh my god, this is a hard choice because I love Diablo so much, but it just doesn't hit at all. I've got to go Diablo, but I don't think Diablo deserves to win.
Oh. I don't play Destiny 2 and you just slagged it off, so I'm already taken away from that one.
Fuck Destiny 2, man.
Can't stand Fortnite, so I'm taken away from that one. It's between Final Fantasy then and Helldivers 2 then, since you took Diablo. But you've also pointed out Helldivers 2 fucked up a lot. During its, like, this obviously past so many months.
Personally, I haven't seen them do anything crazy lately. Like, they haven't added anything lately into that game, from what I've seen. And at the start of it, it was constantly getting updates, so...
Does that Final Fantasy Online one get constant updates?
Well, it's an MMO, so it's always getting some kind of update, yeah.
Yeah, fuck it then, Final Fantasy. It's my fuck it moment. Okay, so we've got games for Impact. So I only know one of these games anyway. So we've got Closer the Distance, Indica, Neva, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Hellblade 2, and Tales of Kenzera Zau. I only know Life is Strange anyway, so...
You're going to go Life is Strange. I don't know why that Tales thing's on here, because I'm pretty sure I had like no players at all. We had like 10 players. I'll probably go for that Indica, because I've seen stuff from that and it did look somewhat good, but these are generally not my type of games at all.
Surprised you didn't get Hellblade 2.
I thought the first one was very boring, and then the second one looked even more boring. So
you're going with the second one then?
Indica. Yeah, I'll go for Indica.
Okay, innovation accessibility. So we got Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age, the Veilguard, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Star Wars Outlaws.
I have no idea how any of these are accessible, other than Call of Duty.
I'm guessing there's got to be some level of settings in them. That's why they're classed towards it. I know Ubisoft, there tends to be some settings, which explains why there's 2 Ubisoft games on here. I couldn't say with Dragon Age. I'd have to ask Hayden that question, but she probably wouldn't even know because she wouldn't need to go into those settings.
I'll go Call of Duty just because there's like this whole settings where you don't have to press jump, but you kind of run at a wall and it'll help you climb and stuff. So. Diablo, I couldn't even think of a single fucking thing for that. What, we got full screen for some reason?
I don't know. I don't fucking know this one.
I don't see how Prince of Persia would have too many accessibility options because it's obviously Metroidvania, so it could only have so much, I guess. Dragon Age might do because it kind of just seems like a type of game.
That's what my mindset was thinking. I was leaning towards that, thinking it kind of feels like if you look at it on paper, it feels like it's one of those games that it's that big. There's going to be so many fucking settings to tweak to allow people to play.
Tweak a setting to make you just play the game by itself, basically.
What, Star Wars Outlaws?
No, Dragon Age.
Oh, Dragon Age. Oh yeah, I know. Hellington says like a setting where basically you can just make yourself invulnerable.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go. Her words of wisdom earlier lands my vote on Dragon Age. Plus, she'd probably slaughter him in my sleep if I didn't vote Dragon Age for something.
God, he's so bad, man. I can't even begin to the writing in that game. Holy shit.
I was taking a piss of her this morning, obviously slagging it off, being like, "Oh, they're writing it so bad." And she's like, "No, it's not."
It is.
She's like, "The people who are saying it's bad haven't actually played Dragon Age."
I love the old Dragon Age. The new one's just shit. You can't play the
It's,
old ones and then the new
it's
one. It's
hating
just not.
when she finds something she really enjoys, she'll just like fucking should make herself the equivalent of a knight in a battlefield, but fucking just
Did
like
she play the original ones?
she's played the old Dragon Age, yeah.
Oh my god, and she likes the new one. See, I can't agree at all. The writing's so bad. A new one. Well,
Well,
I don't know any of them.
best
Who am I
performance.
voting
We're up
for?
to so we got Brianna White, Final Fantasy, Hannah Tell, Life is Strange, Umberla Gonzalez, Star Wars Outlaws, Luke Roberts, Silent Hill 2, Melina Jurgens, Hellblade 2. I know Final Fantasy won some of the performance ones at the Golden Joystick. It's funny because I'm pretty certain the one who obviously the Outlaws one, which is obviously the main character from Outlaws. Like I literally just watched her in a film like about a month ago. She's in a film called Tarot, which is like one of those generic fucking horror movies based on like some like random property. In this case, tarot cards. And she's like one of the characters that gets killed in it, if I remember correctly. And I was like, oh, okay. So looking at this, I don't really know anything about Hellblade, so I don't really know much about it. Oof.
I know what I'm voting for. That makes it easier for you to narrow down.
You're going for Silent Hill 2?
No, I'm going for Hellblade.
Oh, okay.
Just because I know there's a lot of motion capture and everything, whereas the other ones I don't know how much they did with everything like that. I don't know if it's just voice acted or what, but that was like obviously a whole basic role.
I feel like Life is Strange is going to be just like voice acted. It doesn't seem like a motion capture based game.
That's what I mean.
Silent Hill 2, possibly to an extent, but I don't know if it'd be by him. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's motion captured. I think it,
Star Wars
I don't
Outlaws,
know.
again, it's Ubisoft. I don't see Ubisoft having these massive
Oh,
motion captures.
Ubisoft ain't doing that. They ain't
So
got the
I want to just double
button.
check something because my mindset is on one here, and I just want to double check something. So I want to take Golden Joystick Awards.
For God's sake, cheap.
My mindset is thinking it's Final Fantasy, and I'm pretty certain it was her who won. So
Top of lifestyle.
let me just double check where the best fucking. So she won Best Supporting Performance, Best Lead Performance. Okay, explain this to me. So she's
Go
up
on.
for this, but the Golden Joystick she was up for Best Supporting. But yet the one who was up for Best Lead isn't up for this. The one who won Best Lead at the Golden Joysticks.
The British dude.
Cody Christian.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a British dude. Yeah,
So
he
he was
did
up
a
for
good
Best.
job.
Is that for Best Lead? And she was up for Best Supporting, but she's up for the actual Best. I don't know. That's what my mindset was thinking. I'll go with her because I'm pretty certain she won recently, and I know I'm pretty certain the guy who did obviously he was played obviously Asterion in Baldur's Gate. I'm pretty certain he won at the Golden Joysticks as Best Supporting
Yeah.
as well, and I'm pretty certain he also then went on to win Best Performance. So I'm gonna go Final Fantasy. If not, it would have. I just want to beat one category. That's all. If not, looking at that, the only other one I'd probably vote for it'd be Life is Strange because I've actually played. Obviously, to an extent, I know Life is Strange, or Silent Hill 2, just because I know obviously it's very driven on that one character. So it'd be
Yeah.
between one of them two. But as I say, I just want to see if I can try and beat you in a category. So I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy on this one. So, as I say, I'm looking at like the Golden Joystick ones, and
Cheating. That's what you're doing.
I only just booted it up. Best storytelling was Final Fantasy for that one, but this doesn't matter obviously because anything that wins here, technically speaking, you might not win in this one. It's different fucking critics, isn't it? The best visual was Black Myth. Best multiplayer was Helldivers on that one. As I said, Elden Ring literally had its own expansion, so it's crazy that fucking best early access game, Lethal Company. I mean, haven't they like stopped working on that game though?
No, I'm still going.
No, it's still going. I swear they stopped working on
Didn't
that
know
one.
they actually.
Still in early access. I thought that's finished entirely.
Nah.
Helldivers won console game of the year as well. Satisfactory was the PC game of the year. That's what I think. That's the weird, interesting thing with the Golden Joysticks. They have like specific categories for like specific consoles, and some of
Yeah.
I know some other awards shows also have that. So it's weird that Game Awards haven't done that as well. Best audio design then. So we've got Astrobot, Call of Duty, Final Fantasy, Hellblade, and Silent Hill 2. Best in-game audio and sound design. I've only played Call of Duty, but I'm not going to vote for Call of Duty on this.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to call it the audio dog shit, man.
It's just.
Yeah, if it's anything to base off the first one, I'll go Hellblade. Just the audio is pretty good in that.
Hellblade.
Cool.
Well, I won't vote for it just because I'm not going to cheat on this one, but I'm pretty certain I just read that Final Fantasy won this category at joysticks, but I'm not going to vote for it.
Cheating.
Between Astrobot and Silent Hill 2, then for me.
Take the button to double lifestyle.
I'm going to say. I wish I had a coin just to toss here.
Just say Final Fantasy.
You know, just for that, I'm going to say Astrobot.
Oh!
Now, we'll go Silent Hill 2.
Oh!
Mind games. Right, okay, so then we're getting close to the end here. We've got best score in music. We've got Astrobot, Final Fantasy, Metaphor, Silent Hill 2, Cellblade. So.
Right, Final Fantasy always has some great music. But so does the Persona series, so I'll probably go Metaphor because I do like the music from Persona. So I'm guessing it would have similar
I know
music.
nothing about Stellar Blade, and then nothing about Silent Hill 2, no, nothing about Metaphor, Final Fantasy, or Astrobot. So this is the case of just fucking guessing. And I feel like. I don't know, but I feel like if I'm thinking like. Between Astrobot and Silent Hill 2 for me. So that's the only two I'd really actually want to play. And thinking of what would probably have the better score in music, I'd probably go for the more horror one. Because you know, and I know, horror games usually have fucking banging soundtracks. Like
Yeah, but also horror games have very ambient noise and no soundtrack. And that's all
true.
I remember from the original Silent Hill was there's barely any music.
That's a good point, actually.
Final Fantasy always has like massive orchestra stuff. So Astrobot is a good game, so there's some funky tunes on there.
That is also true. Fuck it, Astrobot. That's a good point. I mean, soon you pointed out the fact that horror games do also sometimes just focus more on just like the ambient sounds, which is why I'd feel like out of the two, Silent Hill 2 probably win the audio design. Out of the two, if it was between just those two, it'd be that one.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna agree then. Obviously, PlayStation games usually have fucking decent, like their main games usually have good soundtracks. So yeah, okay. I agree on that. So best art direction, we've got Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Metaphor, and Neva. So for outstanding creative and technical achievement, artistic design and animation. It's going to be between Astrobot and Black Myth. I'm guessing yours is between Black Myth and Elden Ring.
I don't. Black Myth has some cool little art piece in there, but the actual game itself, I wouldn't say is like breathtaking. I'd have to go Elden Ring. It does probably having this as a DLC on the list, but it still would have been my game of the year if it was a standalone, so I can't help it.
I'm going to go Black Myth Wukong on this one because I've seen some of the art in that game and that looks fucking good. But again, I agree that realistically, is Elden Ring show this DLC for Elden Ring the art any different to the base game?
it's like totally different areas, so it's like different. It is different aesthetically. Obviously, it's still got the base game graphics, obviously, but it is different aesthetically. Like
enough to technically class it for this category,
oh
or
yeah, it's basically like its own game. That's the problem. It's basically its
okay.
own game.
Okay, so best narrative is up next. So we've got Final
Right.
Fantasy, Like a
There's no
Dragon,
one.
Metaphor, Hellblade, sorry, and Silent Hill.
There's no way Like a Dragon's winning winning storytelling. I'm sorry. Fuck, man.
Final Fantasy is like a big thing with story.
Yeah, Final Fantasy would probably be the. I mean, it's a remake of an old classic everyone loves. So how can it be
But then so
better?
is Silent Hill too.
Yeah, but there's one's like a survival horror, and one's like a massive story-based game. So if you can choose first in this category, I'll let you.
I'll go Silent Hill too.
Oh, I'll go Final Fantasy then.
It just shows you that I fucking have no clue of anything this year. Well, it kind of sums up my year for gaming when WWE 2K24 is still my highest rated game of the year. Still sums it up. Right, best game direction. So it's awarded for outstanding creative vision. Okay, obviously direction and design. Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy, and Metaphor.
Awarded for outstanding creative vision, innovation. I can't give it to Elden Ring because what did it innovate on
It's the
over Elden
same
Ring?
game, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't give it something that didn't innovate over anything. Black Myth Wukong, technically, in my opinion, didn't really change anything. Final Fantasy is a Final Fantasy game. Metaphor is basically just a fucking Persona game. So I'm gonna have to go Balatro. It's like the only game that feels different. Yeah, it's like a little car game, but it just feels 10 times different than
Between me,
game.
either Astrobot or Black Myth Wukong, and I'm gonna give it Black Myth Wukong this one because obviously it's just based on this game. Obviously, I agree with the idea of Elden Ring. Realistically, creative vision, innovation, game direction, design. What design really? Because it's the same fucking game as you've already played.
It didn't change anything. Like it added stuff, but it didn't change the
See,
fundamental of the game.
I'll be okay with like a remake being on it as long as the remake has changed enough from the base game, like design wise.
And the Final Fantasy that's on here is like 10 times different than what it was originally.
That's what I mean. I feel
it's
like if there's enough difference from its base, well, obviously its original game, then I'm okay with it. Same with the DLC. I feel like if it's a completely like they fucking did it completely different, then I can be okay with it. But if you're saying it's near enough the exact same fucking thing, then how can you qualify it for game direction again?
Yeah.
Last one, game of the year. So we've got Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Tree, Final Fantasy VII, Rebirth, and Metaphor with Fantasio. And I feel
Right, this is now my hardest category ever. Because normally my game of the year stands out, and I'm like, fuck yeah.
You mean like
easy
last year,
vote.
Baldur's Gate 3? Year before,
Yeah.
Elden Ring.
Whereas this year is hard because of including Elden Ring again. But it's a DLC. That's my problem. Like it would be my game of the year. Like even when I played for the DLC, I remember saying to D, I was like, if this was nominated for game of the year, it would be my game of the year. But problem is, then you also have that problem of like, it's technically a DLC. There's 3 games I knew that I've played the most. Obviously, Elden Ring,
The three in the middle,
Wukong,
basically.
and out of Large, I wouldn't give it Game of the Year. Black Myth Wukong would probably be my choice if Elden Ring wasn't on the list, but I have to get, even though it's DLC, it was technically my Game of the Year. That's the problem. Oh, God, it's fucking hard choice.
Is he going with Elden Ring then?
I've got to go with Elden Ring.
So here's my thing. See, it's between two for me then. Between Astrobot and Black Myth Wukong. And I'm looking at them, and I want to give it Black Myth Wukong, but I also kind of want to stick with my theme of giving PlayStation games the Game of the Year vote, because that's my recurring thing. Because 2020 was Ghost of Tsushima, 2021 was Ratchet and Clank, 2022 was God of War, 2023 was Spider-Man, despite the fact I knew Baldur's Gate 3 was winning it, I was like, I'm still going to Spider-Man. I feel I just want to give it to Astrobot just to keep this fucking thing going. I swear I gave it Spider-Man 2 last year.
Yeah, you did. Because she's like, oh, I'm gonna give it
I
even
know
more.
it's not winning, but yeah. So I'm gonna stick with my recurring theme of Game of the Year being a PlayStation-based game, and I'm giving it to Astrobot. Mainly because I feel like if anything is going to challenge it, based on critical ratings, it would be between Astrobot and Elden Ring, because those are the two highest rated games of the year. Elden Ring, I know, is the highest rated of the two, but I feel like if anything's going to come close to actually taking it, would be Astrobot. I mean, I'd like, I feel like yourself could be, if Black Myth Wukong walks away with the win, you'd be like, fair enough, I'm okay with that.
What I'm happy with. If Elden Ring wins, fair enough, whatever. I'll be a bit like, yeah, it's DLC. It technically was my game of the year because it was such a big DLC. It did feel like a standalone game. But if Black Myth Wukong won it as well, I wouldn't care. If Balatro won it, I'd be happy as well. But I don't think Balatro will win
No.
it. It's crazy. It's been up for game of the year though. That's huge, man.
To be fair though, usually there is like a small game up for Game of the Year, isn't there? Really, like compared to all the other games that are on the list, there's usually at least like one little game. It never wins, but there's always that one that's up there that you're like, good for them for being up there. Good for them. I say I don't think Balattra's going to win it. I feel like if any, it's more likely going to be Elden Ring, and that's why they put it in there. Obviously, just so you can fucking win another award.
In Final Fantasy, would have a chance though. I'm not sure about Metaphor. I haven't heard anything critically amazing. I've heard players like, yeah, it's good, but they also just look for
personally, just because it gets rid of that fucking controversy. Anything winning this category other than Elden Ring, I'm okay with. Just because it gets rid of that controversy. Because, yeah, you have the controversy of people going, it was nominated, but you can go, yeah, but it didn't win. So, you know.
The only thing I'm hoping for, if it does win, is that more developers are actually focus on one game as a massive DLC. Rather than like, oh, here's a second game. That didn't really need to be a second game. It could have been a DLC for the first one.
See, what I want to ask now, though, is if it does win, are they going to put any more up in the future DLCs? Because if they don't, they've clearly just changed the rules for this one DLC.
I think if there's a DLC big enough, they would. See, that's the problem because it's so fucking expansive. It makes sense why it kind of was in the category, but they've never done it before.
Yeah,
and that's
despite the fact that Witcher had a massive fucking expansion, Cyberpunk had a massive expansion. So there's two other games that had huge expansions that were very popular.
Like I said, I think an actual game could have been put here over the DLC.
And it would just shut everyone up instantly. It would have fixed the whole situation.
Actually, just chuck Warhammer there. Warhammer or Helldivers.
So anything. I mean, say Warhammer, Helldivers, Dragon's Dogma. There's fucking loads we've already gone through on this list that we could have gone, you know what, fuck it, put it there. It's probably not going to win the award, but it at least clears up the whole controversy of DLC being up there. But of course, you know, they want some talking points, and that's the biggest talking point there is. So
we'll see what happens.
I say we'll see what happens on December 12th. Did I say?
I've got the fucking website right in front of me, and I can't even.
Yeah, December 12th. I click the menu. December 12th.
Los Angeles.
Okay, let me switch off the little cameras and let's get the big cameras back on, son. So let's get my image up. I think it's no, it's not that one. It's already up. It's the big cams I need. Our cams can go bye bye.
Bye bye.
Where's the little? There it is. There we go. That's gone. And I can put that on the other screen there. So yeah, that is it for this year's annual Game of the Year voting. I'm very much looking forward more to next year because, you know, looking at the anticipated list, we're going to have a better year in terms of voting next year. And I feel like we're both probably going to have our clear winners heading into it. Hopefully no controversy for that one. So the only thing I'm hoping for with this year's Game Awards is at least some decent announcements or decent reveals.
I want more this year than the announcement, than the actual.
Because I know last year that when they dropped the fucking Monster Hunter trailer, wasn't it? Because you were creaming your pants going. And I'm pretty certain, didn't they also drop the trailer for the announced trailer for the Blade game and the Jurassic Park game? Was it? Was that last year's one? So that's the one thing I usually like. That's the one thing I do like about the Game Awards is the announcements that usually are. So hopefully there's some decent announcements that make up for a pretty lackluster year in the gaming department. But yeah, so I'm looking forward definitely to next year because there's some bangers on that fucking list already. I say GTA 6, fucking Ghost of Yokai, Death Stranding, fucking Monster Hunter. I feel like if all those games come out next year and are fucking perfect, I feel like there's your fucking list already for Game of the Year.
Tough next year, man.
I feel like if they come out fucking spot on, I feel like that list there is your Game of the Year list again. So it's going to be the case
with GTA Online, and it's fucking good. That's where it'd be, because I fucking love GTA Online when it first came out.
So yeah, there's a lot to hope for next year's Game Awards. But talking about this year's Game Awards, obviously, what's your Game of the Year for this year? Put that in the comments below. Is it any of the ones I've actually put up there? Is it anything that's not on that list? Because I mean, there is plenty of other games that aren't on that list that could have been mentioned. I mean, it did decent enough review wise. Fucking that one I started playing up, that horror one, that short one, Scottish one.
Oh, It Lies Deep, whatever it is.
Yes, I think it was. Like, that got decent enough reviews. I'm surprised that hasn't been nominated under anything. But you know, it is what it is. So yeah, obviously you can check out the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Audible. Or you can check out us on YouTube where you get to see our faces and actually get to see us clicking the votes.
Give us some comments, please.
As you say,
it's great. We never get one. Give us one.
Obviously, we do have the 3 previous Game of the Year podcasts that we obviously have available for you to watch as well. If you want to watch them and see what we voted for in those past years and see the better years of gaming, less us slagging off games. The more us going, this was so good. And yeah, obviously you can check out all the other videos as well on YouTube. They're all there. I'm going to be trying to hopefully get back into live streaming at some point soon.
Oh yeah.
So
I'll get on my Chatterbait live streaming. So
yeah, I'm going to try and get back into that at some point soon. Obviously in terms of podcast, I've got hopefully 2 coming up in December with Alex.
Ooh.
I've booked him in for one of those, which we're supposed to be covering the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. And we've got another one that I don't know yet. He's picking it for the following week. So yeah, I've got those 2 planned, and I believe I'm more likely because I'm going to watch it. Going to be covering Moana 2. Mainly because I'm going to literally be watching it. I might as well go fuck it, come back and record it on it. Might as well.
Might as well. So.
And yeah. So we do hope you've enjoyed our 2024 Game of the Year voting, and we do hope to see you next time. Goodbye. Is that an attempt at a kiss at the camera? That's better. If you like what you've seen, don't be afraid to throw us a little like and subscribe. That's always very appreciated over here. And well, I'll see you on the next video.